Hello, boys and girls. Hello, moms and dads. Stay at home dads, stay at home moms. It's Hannah Yawusua Ajipong again on the subject of Black History Month. Okay, we nearly finished celebrating Black History Month, but I believe that Black history is world history. It's world history that was cleverly taken out of the mainstream history books so that people will not know the horrific things that some people did to Africans. Okay? Sometimes people think that what you don't know won't hurt you, but that is not true. What you don't know hurts more than what you know. And so, celebrating Black History Month, which happens only in October in the UK and in February in America, we are gradually getting people to become aware so that Black history should be put back into mainstream history books. It was one of the saddest things that happened to Africans, but we can learn from it. No matter how horrific things were, we can learn from it, and it will help us appreciate how things are today. Because in those days, black people and white people were not even allowed to be in the same place. They were not allowed to sit on the same bus. They were not even allowed to drink from the same water fountain. Today, we get on the bus, everybody gets on the bus, and that's okay. But we don't want to forget those horrific days where to be black means you could be killed at any time, you could be tortured, you could be raped. It was like they thought that black people were beneath animals. They were treated less than animals. And I think the time has come for us to put all the cards on the table and to learn about our humanity and how cruel some human beings can be. It is sad, but it happened. And so we cannot bury it and pretend that it never happened. And so the next person I want to talk about today is another Harriet. I think those people called Harriet must have very courageous spirits in them. So last week we talked about Harriet Tubman. And this week I'm going to talk about Harriet Bailey. Harriet Bailey was the mother of a man called Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass was a very famous man who campaigned, who traveled and brought awareness to people about how the enslaved people were being treated. And he fought against the slave trade, and he became an abolitionist. They wanted to abolish the slave trade, and it took a very long time because people were profiting from it. People were getting money from it. People were getting prestigious positions. Even some of them were buying the privilege and the opportunity to be parliamentarians. So most of the people in parliament in those days owned slaves. And we want to let the whole world be aware that we've had such a horrific history that some people would rather hide it. And so Harriet Bailey, who was she? Harriet Bailey was also enslaved, and her slave master raped her. I'm sorry, this is a children's program, but we hear so much of how even little girls are being raped these days, and therefore we need to be able to talk about it. At first, I would not even be able to say this word in public, let alone put it on social media. But these things happened. And the only way we learn from that is by talking about it. And so Harriet Bailey was raped by her slave master, and she had a baby called Frederick Douglass. And because her slave master did not want her and her baby to bond, he sold Harriet Bailey away to another farm, which was 12 miles. But Harriet Bailey will wake up in the middle of the night when everybody was asleep and walk the 12 miles to see her baby, cuddle him a bit, put him back down, and walk 12 miles to go to the farm. Because if she didn't and she got caught, she might be killed or tortured. So today, our favorite person that we are talking about, who you may not have heard about before, because Black history was taken out of mainstream history books, and that is Harriet Bailey, and she could only do that for 7 years. Frederick Douglass was only 7 years old when his mother died. But guess what? He grew up to challenge the evil that was slavery. So thank you for joining me, and let's have another session about another person in Black history. Thank you.